Hello, SnapFlash fam, welcome back. Big developments from New York, where the world's eyes are on the 80th United Nations General Assembly. UN Secretary-General António Guterres has issued a stark warning. He says the world is sliding into a global crisis.
Conflicts are multiplying in the context in which geopolitical divides do not allow to effectively address them. There is a sense of impunity. Every country believes they can do whatever they want. So in this context, we absolutely need leaders to come here and to turn the tide, to come here and understand that international cooperation is vital in a moment like this, to come here and do the negotiations and the mediations that are necessary to at least create hope for peace in some of the situations we are facing.
And Southern Africa is making its presence felt, with Botswana, Namibia, and South Africa all stepping onto the world stage. Here's the striking part. From Gaza to Sudan, from climate threats to AI, Guterres says global challenges are multiplying while international cooperation is falling apart. His message to leaders: turn the tide, or risk deeper divides and instability. Before we unpack the details, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our global and local updates. Guterres outlined urgent priorities: ending the war in Gaza, tougher action on Sudan, stronger refugee protections, real climate commitments, and reforms to both the UN Security Council and the global financial system.
I believe that there will be a clear demonstration that the overwhelming majority of the countries in the world recognize the right of the Palestinian people to self-determination, recognize that there must be a Palestinian state, and recognize it in the meeting we'll have on Monday, and at the same time send a very clear message that the carnage that is happening in Gaza has to end, that we need a ceasefire immediately, with the release of all hostages immediately too, and with effective humanitarian aid in Gaza that is suffering the highest level of death and destruction that I've seen since I'm Secretary-General. The suffering of the Sudanese people is horrible. So I think it's time for the Security Council to be able to take, with the agreement of all the key powers, very tough measures on Sudan, to make those Sudanese parties understand that what they are doing is a crime against their own people. As we live in a world of impunity, it is easy for countries that see the examples of big powers waging war, as in the case of the Ukraine. There is a stimulus for mid-sized countries to try to solve their ambitions or their problems through war, instead of negotiation, instead of compromise. And this is becoming a pattern that needs to be strongly opposed by the international community, and we would need a much more united and effective Security Council to make it happen. That's why the reform of the Security Council is so important. But the most important message is to the countries in the world that have obligations under international law, under international refugee law, that their doors must be open, that refugees must see their rights respected. UNHCR, that has a fantastic role in supporting refugees all over the world, is now dramatically underfunded. So this is a tragic situation that requires a comprehensive response. This is the moment in which every member state must present its new climate plan. And it's essential that those climate plans are aligned with the objective of 1.5 degrees, which means that they bring a dramatic reduction of emissions.
He also raised alarms over the weaponization of artificial intelligence, urging instead for its responsible use to advance equality and the Sustainable Development Goals.
We absolutely need to preserve human agency in artificial intelligence, to guarantee that artificial intelligence is an enormous contribution to the Sustainable Development Goals, to more equality in the world, and to avoid at all costs that artificial intelligence deepens the divide between rich and poor in the world, and at the same time that it is used for purposes that represent a danger for our societies. The danger because they can be weaponized, in relation to which the UN has presented in the Pact for the Future a clear set of rules in order to make sure that in social media and in other platforms, artificial intelligence and digital technologies in general do not become a threat to the social cohesion of societies and the mechanism of polarization that undermines democracy and undermines the possibility of peace to prevail.
Now turning to Southern Africa's role, Botswana's president, Duma Boko, is making his first ever appearance at the UN General Assembly. He'll deliver his maiden address on September 25th, reaffirming Botswana's commitment to multilateralism, peace, sustainable development, and human rights. Boko will also headline the Unstoppable Africa 2025 Summit, while engaging investors and partners through bilateral meetings before returning home on September 28th. Namibia's new president, Dr. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, fresh from her swearing-in, is also in New York. On September 24th, she'll deliver her inaugural UNGA speech, focusing on women's empowerment, climate action, youth, peace, and global disarmament. South Africa's Cyril Ramaphosa will echo the call for reform of global institutions and ensure Africa's voice rings louder in shaping solutions under this year's theme. Better Together, 80 years and more for peace, development, and human rights. Their presence highlights a growing demand. Africa wants more than a seat in the room. It wants a stronger voice in shaping the global order. And here's the big question. Will the voices of Southern African leaders be enough to push through real reforms in a world dominated by superpowers? Let us know what you think in the comments. If you're finding this update insightful, hit like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss our next breakdown. As the 80th UN General Assembly unfolds, the stage is set for global leaders to confront unprecedented challenges. From climate shocks to geopolitical tensions, this is a moment that could redefine international cooperation. And for Southern Africa, it's a chance to step up and claim its place in shaping the future. Thanks for watching SnapFlash. Keep questioning, stay informed.
Yes.